Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Southwestern Advantage European podcast. My name is Sandra.
And my name is Greta.
And today we have a really special guest here and we are super excited to get to know him even better.
Yes, so let's talk about stats. So his first summer, he was a top first year, and in just 10 weeks he sold 3,078 units. With that, he also hit President's Club and was a top B next year with 4,229 units. And at the same year, so his first team ever had 5 people, and he had a GRG team. So that means Great Recruiters Getaway. So it's the ultimate trip you want to win as a recruiter. Mm-hmm. And had a number 3 in-schooler team in the world. He was first time organizational leader in his second summer already, and he also had a top organization that year. So we have a natural winner here, obviously. So everybody say hello to Alex Ajangu.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, Alex, for joining us. So in our podcast, we have this little tradition that we ask all of our guests to name one word that describes Southwestern Advantage and why, just that word. So what do you think, what would be one word for you?
I think it would be, I'd say activation.
Activation.
Why?
Okay.
Activation because, like our mission says, right, we want to be the best company in the world at helping young people develop the skills and character they need to achieve their goals in life. I truly see Southwestern as the activation energy for people who either may feel stuck or who simply want to find what is their real purpose, how to get there, what to do. And Southwestern provides the mindset, the people, the network, and the skills, the tools to actually go for it. I truly believe that. It's like a catapult, to go further in life.
Mm-hmm. But take us back, because you have such an excellent success track.
Thank you.
Take us back to your first summer, how it all began. What actually attracted you to this program as well? You said it catapults a career, but what was it for you and how was the first summer?
So I was approached, I think, 5 times.
Oh my goodness.
Before I actually decided to really pay attention. What attracted me at that time, there were multiple things that just kind of happened to kind of exist at the time. Everything kind of came together as a puzzle. I was away from my country, alone, studying a major for the 4th or 5th year already, and I realized that it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do with my life. Mm-hmm. I would say I'm like a people's person, and doing something just behind the computer all the time, nothing, no communications or anything like that didn't feel that great for me anymore.
What did you study, by the way?
Bioinformatics.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even though I can be analytical, don't get me wrong, but it felt kind of forced at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really feeling great there. What else? I was 23, so it dawned upon me that I actually have to start working someday. And quite soon I have to make a living for myself, for my family, for my future kids and wife, for my mom, What am I going to do if I don't even love what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. And when my manager called me, he didn't even really have any high hopes because I was a master's student in Sweden who had been approached at least 5 times by big leaders, important people, and I was always saying no to everybody. He just kind of called me, but what happened was he wasn't selling anything to me and he was super natural with it. He just said, if you actually see any benefit it might help you, sure, let's go for it. If not, it doesn't matter to me at all. It's just that, and he had 2 great referrals, Jan Korana and my really good friend Carl Perens, who we used to play all sorts of games with, and I saw them as great role models, and I didn't even know that they were doing Southwestern. So many things collided, and I was like, okay, interesting. If it came to my life at this point, over and over again, it's been happening, and now it kind of feels different. Okay, I should maybe at least listen. Mm-hmm. And it truly attracted me because my manager was such a lovable and really sincere person who just I truly felt that this program is going to help me as a person rather than just, oh, we're going to make money and, oh, it's going to be awesome, whatever. So I saw the value.
That's really like awesome to hear and sweet to hear. So yeah. But what do you think like about your first summer? How would you like describe it?
Boy, my first summer, how would I describe? Okay, it's just kind of powerful because I truly had this burning desire to win. And I felt from the start, I just knew in my heart, I'm going to be the number one. I'm going to be the best, you know. I really went for it. I can honestly say I truly worked hard for it. Truly did. And I had this high conviction. Why? Because my why was strong enough. I really understood why am I going there. I'm not just going to go for a summer program. I'm not just going to go there to make money. I truly wanted to make a difference in my life and actually take the most out of it. And my manager also helped to cultivate those that kind of mindset in me. Because I've understood from the day one that Southwestern is going to give you as much as you are going to take from it. So make the years count, don't count the years. That's what I feel.
That's a really good good note. Yeah. Okay, but you were a top first year and you even hit the President's Club in your first summer and you won a VIP trip as well. So, and also you were a full-time student in Sweden, so majority of your time you were actually doing your preparation for the summer in video calls.
Yeah, that was the time in my life.
Yeah. So how did you like prepare mentally and physically for the summer since you had like everything almost in video calls?
Okay, so since I am a people's person, like it was a bit hard that I couldn't see people in person, right? But at least we had video calls, and I did sometimes fly to Estonia. I think like 5 times maybe throughout the year. Great people. I just connected with everybody. I felt the vibe. I truly felt that I belong here. So I just fell in love with it instantly because of the people, not just my mentor, but everybody else as well in our group. From the get-go, I understood that I'm gonna make it happen. This is gonna be my year. I'm gonna go for the first place. It's gonna happen. I just know. And then that just kind of like reflected in my preparation in everything. Like one of the biggest highlights I think in my first year that truly made the difference for me was the difference in my schedule. And it's something that I'm still working on. And it's like a growth point for me. But what happened was we had this habit challenge. And instead of doing it 5 days in a week, we did it every single day for a month. Always. Without fail. And my manager told me and another first year in his team at the time that, guys, let's do it. What do you think? Are you agreeing with it? Okay, sure. Now, one condition. We're going to do it 7 days a week without fail. If everybody succeeds, I'm going to take you on a trip. For free, everything. The catch is if anybody, only one person, that's it, fails with anything at all, didn't read the self-talk, woke up 1 minute later, whatever, everything is cancelled and that person needs to repeat that habit challenge.
Oh.
What happened was that out of all people, I was the person who woke up 2 minutes later one day. And it hit me so hard. I truly felt like the world is about to end. And he confronted me because we had this connection already and the trust. He knew I was in the military, you know, I can take tough conversations. And he really did it so well that it motivated me. And what happened was that maybe I would have succeeded and we would have gone on the trip. It would have been awesome. But the fact that I failed kind of made it even better because it made me repeat the habit challenge and it became my identity. I was literally doing it every single day without fail until the end of May.
Wow.
That was the only fail I had, literally. Every single day I did it all. And I truly felt like this just boosted me so much because my confidence was through the roof. I'm a strong believer that when you do the things you're supposed to do them, like you are in control of your schedule, it's a difference maker. Like those little victories, they stack up. My self-talk was always like, boom, I woke up on the same time or whatever and I said like, yeah, this is another stack of proof that I am who I say I am. I carry with me until this day. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, 2 minutes late.
I'm just listening here. I'm like,
Kind of started the thing for me. After that, it just became my identity to win no matter what. And I I remember we had this cycle competition. We needed to do at least 31 cycles. Anna Belier was my biggest competition, and she had like 51 or 2 cycles already, and I was 14 cycles away from the first place. It was the last day, and I was thinking, gosh, how am I gonna make it happen? So I just did. So I just started approaching people, and I did cycles for 14 hours, like in a row. I just did cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle, and I won it. And I put the stats in at the last minute, so she couldn't jump anymore. And I won by 1, and I was like, yes, and I knew I'm ready for the summer, you know.
That's so cool.
And that's it. So, whatever it takes. Like I understood that. Truly, I'm such a believer in like the victory is reserved for the people who are willing to do the work for it, right? And if you are crazy enough, if you're obsessed enough, if you understand that, gosh, like my friends came to visit me, but this schedule thing or this going to sleep thing is so important for me. It doesn't matter. I am gonna go to sleep at that time. Or I'm gonna win this no matter what. The integrity part is huge. Like the self-belief and the confidence that you have from it truly makes a difference, because you are in control of your life. Then you know that whatever you tell yourself, it's gonna happen, because you know you can trust yourself. And that's the biggest thing that I'm working on right now, and constantly keeping it, like the trust, you know. That's the most important thing.
That's really inspiring to hear all of it. Yeah.
In dance, we used to do in camp something like this. It's like it's very good with like like you know, like you're putting like spices.
Spices, yeah.
It's so good. I'm just like.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. Schedule and attitude, amazing. Did you do any sales before that?
So I was blessed with an awesome mom. She was like a people's person as well. My best friend. And as a kid, I didn't do sales necessarily, but I just saw her doing all sorts of like, you know, sales on some kind of like farmer's market, or we had some kind of fair or whatever else. And sometimes she did some things. I kind of picked it up from there. And then my best friend and his dad, they made this root beer company. Yeah. And they started selling it, and they've been doing it for the past 17 years at this point, maybe even more, maybe like 20 something, I don't even remember. And so they brought me with them. One day, my best friend at the time, like he just said like, yo, maybe you want to join us? I was like, okay, sure, I'm trying it. And I wasn't like a supernatural at the beginning. It was really kind of like, how am I going to talk to strange people, approach them? Like, but I saw how they were doing it. They were so nice, and it was just so easy going about it. They were talking to people like people instead of sale people, and it just clicked with me that you just connect with people, be a normal person. And I started doing the approaches there, and soon enough I was beating records upon records, and I just had the blast. Why? Because I was always having fun with it. So I had like 7 years where I was doing some kind of sales, sometimes a week at a time. Some summer I did like a whole month, sometimes just a couple of days around the year. But throughout the 7 years I had some little bits and dots from here and there.
Do you think that was something that made you successful in this program as well, or it's more like other things?
It just gave me like a huge confidence anchor and made the natural connection with people easier for me. I didn't have it wasn't scary for me anymore to approach random people or to talk to anybody, or I already expected it to be hard because I know how it is in sales, right? And working 12 hours or 13 hours a day, I did that multiple times before. That kind of gave me the confidence that I am capable of doing it. But I really realized it super fast that what we're doing here is so much more advanced than just selling root beer to a random stranger. I mean, day and night. And that kind of humbled me at first as well. But I realized that I have to work hard.
So your first summer, you crushed it. You were a top first year. But then the next year, you had recruiting and leading a team. A different challenge for you, right? And little birdie told me that you only had like second, third year, fourth year, fifth year numbers. So for our audiences, just to clarify that means that basically everybody who was either second, third year in college or already doing their masters, and we mostly want to approach the first year students because they haven't been approached yet. So they don't have like a assumption about it. They are very fresh with it. So and you said as well you were approached 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's easier to approach somebody who's
Maybe
been
more.
approached.
I don't know.
Yeah, who's been approached only, or who is approached at first. What were the biggest challenges with recruiting those people who had been approached before? And how was it to lead a team of 5 college students?
Okay, so that is a good question. I was kind of talking about it today as well, and I think what I did correctly was kind of the setup in the previous years, even before knowing about Southwestern, is that I've always kind of unconsciously made the effort to connect with people, whoever is in my life. Kind of keep those connections, care about the people, show them that we can trust each other, it's okay. And what really helped me was that some of the people on my team, I actually knew them previously, and they had all been approached at least once or twice before, and they weren't interested at all. So I understood. Our connection was from the military. We all served in reconnaissance. It was really hard. We went through it. I was in a high leadership position there, and we had this trust because I was already like a person who they looked up to, in a way at least, and we had this trust and connection with them. And since I had this awesome first summer and I had so much conviction in it, it truly did change my life. The conviction and the really like clear vision that we are gonna go and win this number 1 team is just gonna happen. I think those things kind of combined it together, so they trusted me. I could really openly and safely explain to them what it's actually about, instead of just, oh, awesome summer program, it's gonna change your life, and how it's gonna do that, and what's it really about. Book selling is maybe 10% of it. It's everything else around it, why people actually come here. Those things really, really helped. Plus, like the complete strangers, it was momentum at that point, I think. Just the momentum that I built from just having teammates over and over again. I was just so confident. I knew it's the best thing for them to do, literally, and just went for that. But leading such a, at some point I had 8 people. Some of them didn't make it, and it's okay. I mean, they realized maybe sales was really hard for them, or they couldn't handle such pressure and stuff, and you know, it was hard for me emotionally, because at first I took it personally. Maybe I did something wrong, and of course there's like many things that you can improve on, but I learned to let it go, and it really helped me during the summer as well, because rejection is a part of life, and not everything is always going to work out. But those who came with me, forever thankful for them for the trust. And at times it was tough, and I really had to work on my schedule because it became harder than ever. I really had to start thinking outside of the box, and I made tons of PCs of all sorts of people like who actually already achieved those things that I wanted. My vision was always clear. We're gonna go for the first place. I always communicated to my team. I made them into like a unit instead of individuals, and we just constantly had our own standards. We made our own name. That's now the base name, like my own base name, Windit Wolves. Everything, like they knew whatever happens, whoever leaves, we might go alone there. Whatever happens, we are gonna win. That's the mindset over and over again. Like the self-talk was there and the vision was there, and I truly tried my best to build this kind of like a trust and this open communication that we can talk with each other. It's safe. Like the belonging cues were always there. I attentively listen. I want to make sure that they feel comfortable, and we connected outside of Southwestern a lot. We had like games, game nights, and sometimes we played this and that, and like, we became friends like inside and outside of Southwestern. So we had to trust. So whatever happens, I know that they're gonna be honest with me and they wanna achieve. So yeah. But it truly was difficult, especially because I was an organizational leader as well. And at times I was truly like, I didn't know if I'm gonna make it, like mentally, because there was so much going on in my life. I just kept on going. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I did.
All right. I think you gave a lot of good tips that everyone can use in their team building and team leading. So it's super inspirational to hear again.
Yeah, and it's paying it forward. I mean, that's everything that I learned from others as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Just
Super
add
cool.
my own touch to it.
Own touch.
That's what it is.
All right. But was there like ever a moment when you doubted on yourself as a recruiter or manager? If yes, how did you push through?
The most amount of doubt actually came at the end of the recruiting season during the fall, I would say, because I had to go to another country. I was in South Korea for a trip, so the time difference was like 8 hours. I was doing presentations and calls like at 4 a.m. sometimes. Just woke up and then did like 8 hours of studying, and then the time I had left was just for exploring the city and stuff. That was like a really high stress time for me. And after that as well, like, you know, at some point you don't have enough people to actually contact. So, and since I didn't even have like first year numbers, I was really thinking outside the box. How am I gonna make it? How am I gonna even reach enough people? And that was like
recruit on the streets.
so I would say, yeah, the like referrals that I started getting and like digging and connecting with people and finding that really helped. And another hard time was especially during the springtime, because then organizational preparation started, and I had like 8 people at once, and I was thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do, right? And team meetings and my own studies and everything else, right? So it's overwhelming. Like that was a hard time. I was thinking, how am I gonna make it? So then I felt that a lot of people in my life started helping me as well and giving me tips, and I started kind of like delegating a little bit, and also just again, instead of making individual PCs with everybody, it was like at least 7 hours went just on the PCs themselves, plus the preparation. It was like a full-time job, like 14 hours a week just to do PCs, right? So I had to make like team meetings and stuff, and let the first years do the meetings themselves to give them more ownership and like and confidence, and it's really pushed me.
That's crazy.
Things happen, connected the dots later. I am thankful that it did happen, but it was hard.
Crazy. You talked a lot about the things you learned or how you formed like a good team. Did you have any lessons you learned from leading a team? And what would you say would separate like a good manager from a great manager?
Very clear vision. Very clear vision, which needs to be reminded, communicated, repeated constantly. Who we are, where are we going, what's going to happen, what are our standards, why are we doing what we're doing. Very important. Secondly, putting in the extra effort in building the trust and the connection with the people, that you truly care about them and you show them. You actually listen to them. You're not doing PCs because you're supposed to be. It's because you get to, you want to. And that's the mindset you constantly do it with. And well, honestly, systems, I believe, are a great thing as well. Just to have the real overview where you are with things. Because sometimes it might get overwhelming and we're not always really organized. And I'm not saying I'm like the most organized person in the world. Like I am learning it as well as I go. But having some kind of like Excel tables where I kept track, and I was thinking of ways. For example, I figured out that it's overwhelming when you have a lot of people that you write down like what's going to be the homework and what's going to happen and stuff. For example, I just figured, okay, I'm going to let them send an email to me. What we did, what's the homework, what's going to happen. Like those little things added up, and I made my own systems to kind of make it happen.
Give them ownership.
Yes, and that as well. Right? Let them do some things, and it's give away some of my obligations or like leadership position stuff, and then reverse psychologically it actually gives them more confidence and more, you know, that I actually matter, you know, just kind of like builds my people up.
That's a really good tip. Yeah. All right. But to all of the first years listening, so if you could go back and give advice to yourself before the first summer, what would it be?
What would be the tip for myself?
Or like maybe for your first years now?
Schedule.
Schedule.
Always. Always. The mindset has to be there, but you have to, and like that's one of the biggest things, I think, like your confidence, your self-talk, your mindset, you know deeply who you are that you are gonna do this, it's gonna be great, you're gonna succeed no matter what. Like the trust in the process is gonna happen. It's like a given, you know. It's like I am gonna wake up tomorrow, there's gonna be breakfast, you know, whatever. This type of connection. But what I've realized throughout the years now is that the schedule at the end of the day, again, is like 90% of your attitude. It's one of the most important things. And if you slip, especially with sleep, like that's a big thing, especially during the summer. That is something that I am improving on, because it's overwhelming to be like an organizational leader for the first time, and or a manager, and even as a first year, like you're in such a strict schedule, sometimes you feel you don't have enough time for yourself. How to overcome it, like how to actually have those systems in place that you are going to protect your sleep. And it's going to affect your attitude, your mindset, everything. Life is going to become so much easier when you do the things you're supposed to do, have proper rest as well, and you actually plan it, you know.
Plan your rest.
Yeah.
I remember I was a first year. I was in the kitchen talking to you. I was trying to get a cycle with you, but you were very busy. You asked me like we were just talking. You asked me at one point like, how's your schedule like? Do you have time to rest? And I was like, well, I have time like 1 day out of 4 weeks. And you were like, that's actually, you should start with just like 1 day a week.
At least.
Resting, yes. And then we can like talk rest. Maybe hit me up on Sunday.
Yeah.
I do remember that every time now I'm talking with somebody and they say they're so busy, I'm like, okay, but do you have time to rest? And if they don't, I'm like, you take the rest day, and then you'll be much more productive the other 6 days.
Yeah. It's a marathon. I feel it as this, like a summer is like a marathon of sprints, right, every single week, but throughout the season outside of summer, it's a marathon. And in life as well, like I have this mindset that I'm gonna do Southwestern indefinitely. Like it's my life, regardless how it's gonna go, right? But that's my mindset, and I don't want to burn myself out. And there's no point in like high intensity for a short time, and then you're gonna burn out and you can't do it anymore. So there's like a saying that, you know, long-term consistency over short-term intensity. So you have to find like a way you can actually manage your things well enough that you are sane, that you're happy actually, you feel healthy, your basics have to be in check. That's something that really clicked with me and during the GLS as well. Talking to Jack Wheeler and Boston Lorenz and just with people in my base as well, like your schedule has to be there, you truly have to do your things. Like, it kind of builds the integrity and trust again. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Okay, you said you're gonna be in Southwestern for a long time, but what's next for you? What's your goal for the summer?
Obviously with my own sales, like I have my own personal goals that I feel that I'm not gonna disclose with anybody until they actually happen. That's like a big thing for me. Again, Jack Wheeler really influenced me on that during GLS, that there's no point of just promising something if you don't think you're actually gonna do it, right? It's a big integrity point for me, but at the same time, do you believe in miracles, right? Do you do that? Sometimes you do have to, you know, promise things you don't even know if you're gonna make it, how you're gonna make it, right? It's like a fine line. But yeah, my own sales goals definitely improve, get better, mostly at just my attitude and the consistency of my work. That's like the biggest thing for me, to reset fast, to serve people actually, not care about the results as much as actually being consistent and serving people as much as I can. If I control my controllables, if I actually do my best and I'm there for a purpose, things are going to work out, without a doubt. Really big goals for my people. I am a strong believer that winners make other winners. So I'm not just here to be like the big boss man and like, oh, I'm the alpha, I'm the best, you know. I want my people to succeed. I want them to build bases. I want them to feel really what it means to be a leader, to inspire other people, to grow other people, and for them to grow themselves. So I'm constantly like helping them and pushing my own leaders to become better leaders, and, you know, helping them build a vision and see how much impact they can make. And so wonderful feeling, such a wonderful feeling when I can actually see them starting their own bases and impacting those young people. Is crazy. And for my own team as well, like obviously again, go for the best, you know, go and achieve it and really make it happen, because I know what it means to be in a winning team and how much it changes your life and how much it raises your standards. I want them to feel that and have that, so they would have this confidence boost. Whatever they're gonna do later on in life, it's like a ripple effect. You know, I'm throwing the stone in the water right now, and it's gonna affect their life and other people around them indefinitely. It's such a great feeling that we can impact people like that.
Yeah. That's super
Good,
awesome.
it's good information.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm having a private piece too, but I
Yeah.
know everybody's gonna watch this with this. Oh god. Okay. Whew, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me, seriously. Appreciate it.
I don't care if anybody watches this. I was already inspired. I love this one. Of course, please watch it because it's amazing. You get so much good information out of it. But I just feel like the value you came right now, personally to me, was such a big impact already.
Yeah, I felt it too. Like, oh, sorry. But I really felt it too. You can be really charismatic and inspiring, and things you say, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
thank
to jinx
you.
it, but I think you're gonna be one of the like big leaders
Mhm.
next.
Thanks.
coming up.
You already are.
You already are,
Yeah.
yeah. But you're gonna be like bigger and better and stronger and powerful.
Keep on working.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep on going forward. Let's do it.
Well, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in today. And thank you so much for listening to our podcast. And yeah, let us know who we want to see next.
Yes. All right. Have a nice day, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.